President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has declared that water, particularly from the Nile River, is Egypt's top priority, providing over 98% of the nation's water supply. The Egyptian leader has stressed that the protection of this vital resource is crucial for the survival of the Egyptian people and requires strong political commitment, diplomatic efforts, and collaboration with neighboring countries to achieve shared goals. Speaking at the opening of the 7th edition of the Cairo Water Week, President el-Sisi highlighted Egypt's efforts to enhance bilateral cooperation in water management with various African countries, especially those in the Nile Basin. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has stated that the Ethiopian dam has been under construction on the Nile River for 13 years without sufficient consultation or comprehensive studies on its safety, economic, social, and environmental impacts on neighboring countries. He asserted that this oversight violates international law principles. During his speech at the opening session of the 7th Cairo Water Week, Madbouli highlighted the risks posed by unilateral actions that disregard international law concerning shared river basins, as seen with the Ethiopian dam. He emphasized the need for donor agencies to support African countries' efforts in water resource management. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has confirmed that $10 billion has been invested over the past 5 years to enhance the efficiency of Egypt's water system. During his speech at the opening session of the 7th Cairo Water Week, he warned that the unilateral operation of the Ethiopian dam could lead to dire consequences and exacerbate illegal immigration. He also noted that the Egyptian government has developed various plans to confront the water crisis and climate change while maximizing the use of available water resources. Minister of Water Resources and Irrigation Henny Swelem has urged Nile Basin countries that signed the Cooperative Framework Agreement to reconsider their positions and return to discussions on cooperation that does not harm any of the river nations. In a press conference on the sidelines of the 7th Cairo Water Week, he emphasized Egypt's rejection of unilateral measures and its non-recognition of unilaterally signed agreements. Swelem noted that the current situation in the Nile Basin is concerning as it has fragmented into 3 groups with different views: the Upper Nile countries, the East Nile countries, and the 2 downstream nations. Egypt has condemned Israel's decision to confiscate the land housing the UNRWA headquarters in Jerusalem and convert it into a new settlement outpost. In a statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Egypt warned against Israel's ongoing attempts to disrupt UNRWA's activities in support of Palestinian refugees. The statement denounced Israel's systematic campaign to undermine the agency and eliminate the Palestinian refugee issue, labeling these actions as flagrant violations of international law, humanitarian law, the United Nations Charter, and relevant Security Council resolutions. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has highlighted that the administrative capital is one of Egypt's 4th-generation cities, with over 20,000 participants expected to attend the World Urban Forum. In a press conference, he noted Cairo's wealth of global experiences adopted by UN Habitat. He also emphasized that the Egyptian state has successfully implemented more than 1 million housing units in affordable and social housing, improving the quality of life for 300,000 families. Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati has affirmed Egypt's full readiness to host the World Urban Forum, highlighting the country's capabilities to manage major events. During a press conference announcing the details of the forum, Abdelati stated that Egypt is undergoing an unprecedented urban and civilizational renaissance. positioning Cairo as a global capital of security and safety. He emphasized that regional events will not impact Egypt's housing of the conference, noting a focus on sharing the Egyptian experience. The Cairo International Center for Conflict Resolution, Peacekeeping and Peace Building participated in the African Union mission to observe the presidential election in Tunisia from September 29th to October 10th, 2024. The director of the Cairo International Center, Ambassador Ahmed Nihad Abdellatif, stated that the center's involvement aligns with its cooperation with the African Union Commission's Department of Political Affairs, Peace and Security, reinforcing its role as a center of excellence for the Union. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli emphasized the state's commitment to the Decent Life Presidential Initiative, highlighting its crucial role in improving living standards, particularly in Egypt's rural areas. During a meeting with the consulting office overseeing the initiative, the Prime Minister reviewed the progress of projects in the first phase, which targets villages across 20 governorates and benefits over 18 million citizens. He noted that thousands of projects have been already completed and put into service, while work continues on the remaining targeted projects in this phase. The Ministry of Supply and Internal Trade, represented by Minister Sherif Farouk and the holding company for food industries, has signed a cooperation protocol with the Haya Karima or Decent Life Foundation to provide food commodities to citizens. The agreement aims to set up outlets in consumer complexes to display fresh meat under the Decent Life initiative. Farouk stated that the first phase will allocate 20 outlets from the Ministry of Supply and Internal Trade to offer competitively priced fresh meat for underprivileged families. The holding company will provide basic commodities like oil, sugar, ghee, and sauce, while the Haya Karima Foundation will identify eligible families through field studies. The Minister of Health and Population, Khaled Abdel Ghaffar, has announced that the Bidaya initiative has provided a total of 46,646,498 services since its launch. Over the past 4 days, the initiative delivered 7,084,166 services, benefiting 35,638 individuals through various women's empowerment and training programs, which included 504 services and activities. Additionally, 12.6 tons of meat and food supplies were distributed.